There are some amazing furry movies out there, whether it's the brilliant Zootopia, or the classic Robin Hood, or even the upcoming movie Cats. Okay, so not all furry movies are good. In fact, some of them suck. Hello, I'm Shadow Raccoon, and let's take a look at some bad furry movies. Norm of the North. Now this movie cost $16 million to produce and made $30 million back at the box office. So, you know, it was a financial success, but as we know from like the Emoji Movie, that doesn't necessarily equate to a good movie. So, what's this film got to offer us? Well, firstly, it's got Rob Schneider. Yay. And it's been produced by the people who made Bratz, the TV series, and the cartoon Butt Ugly Martians. Yeah, so you know immediately it's not going to be amazing graphically. So the story of this movie follows Norm as he leaves his home in the Arctic and travels to New York City to help save his land, which is being taken over by people building houses in the Arctic. Who writes this? I suppose with the global warming it might become more likely, but it still seems pretty preposterous. So yeah, he travels to the city, and he meets a young girl called Olympia. That's a weird name. And she helps him. They form an unlikely alliance. Yeah, this is trash. So yeah, I mean, the story is unoriginal, it's uninspired, and it's so predictable. The whole outcast going away, coming back a hero, it's just, I saw that coming a mile off, and I think everyone else can. And I mean, that alone doesn't necessarily make me want to hate the movie, but what does make me want to hate the movie is just how nonsensical the plot is. You know, you've got like this whole Arctic thing, it's really silly, it's stupid in fact, and they've filled it with pop culture songs. It's got twerking in it, remember twerking? Yeah, that. And it's just generally unpleasant. In fact, there's a whole minute-long scene padded out with some lemmings peeing. They didn't think this one through, this was just a very cheap shot. And it shows. The animation is bad. It looks nasty. The voice acting is just uninspired. There's very little effort. I mean, you've got like, what, Rob Schneider? Again, he doesn't tend to do very much good stuff now. And they even drafted in Bill Nye as a seagull. So, oh dear, Bill Nye, stay out of these movies, seriously. But, you know, it's just generally unpleasant to watch. And it's not fun, and it's actually quite boring too. Many of you familiar with the channel, of course, will probably know that I like bears, because, you know, yay bears. But this is definitely not one bear that I do like at all, and I really do feel sorry for you polar bears out there who might have got all excited over the idea of a polar bear movie at last and that, and, you know, you got this. You didn't deserve this, no one deserves this, and just, oh no. So Norm of the North is one to avoid. It is definitely not a furry party to watch with your friends. It really sucks.
This film is called The Legend of the Kung Fu Rabbit. Yeah, I know, it's a very similar name to another film. Was made in 2011 and critically panned by its own country of China. Tells the story of a rabbit who is a pancake chef of all things, who goes out and trains to become a kung fu master to defeat a bear, who, weirdly enough, becomes a panda in this, well, it's a bear. It's a panda in disguise as a bear called Slash. Yeah, I know, I don't understand it either. And to be honest with you, this film is trash. The animation is horrendous, and the plot is completely nonsensical. The animation, to be honest, is not as bad as some of the others on this list, but the ending is so horrendously predictable. And of course, everyone in the end is okay. With such amazing voice talent as Tom Arnold and, I can't believe this, Rebecca Black. Do you remember her? Yeah, the good old Friday song that everybody was so memeable a few years ago. Everybody sounds wooden, doesn't give a shit. And yeah, if you're looking for a rabbit film, I think maybe something like Hop, Peter Rabbit, anything but this. For God's sake, don't watch this.
Food Fight. Now, this one's on the list because when I asked all of you what you think the worst furry movie out there is, a lot of you said Food Fight, so it's like, well, I can't not put this on here, and I completely understand why. It's bad. So, directed by the person who directed the first two Mortal Kombat movies, this 2012 animated film, besides spending a very long time in production hell, is about food mascots coming to life after a supermarket closes at night. So, the story's plot revolves around Dex, a cereal brand mascot and dog. I approve of the dog bit, I don't approve of his animation. It's really bad. And yeah, basically there's a new brand coming into the supermarket called Brand X. Wow, that took all of 4 seconds to come up with. And it's killing off the other mascots of brands. And yeah, I'm saying brands a lot because this film is full of it. It's capitalism the movie. It's terrible. And the fact that this was aimed at kids is really quite bad. And you can see why it was panned. But yes, so basically his girlfriend's kidnapped, they have to go rescue her, there's twists and double crosses, it's all very predictable, if you make it that far in the movie, of course, because the lip syncing is just terrible. And just the animation, you could never believe that they spent money to make this movie, and it cost more than the first Shrek movie to produce. Yes, so you think of Shrek 1, which, doesn't, it's aged, but compared to this movie, which is newer, from 2012, and it cost more to make. It's like, wow, that's atrocious. It was panned by critics. I mean, the Daily Telegraph, a UK newspaper, called it the worst children's animated movie ever. Granted, they're usually quite harsh to films, but seriously, it's clear that it's not just furries who hate this movie. Everyone hates it. The lip syncing's bad, the animation is bad. The voice acting, oh wow. Well, the actors, from what I read, actually wanted to try and escape their contracts, but they weren't allowed to, whilst the brands that wanted to escape could. So, that's an interesting little note there. So this is a terrible movie that you shouldn't really watch under any account. It will make you cry, because it is that bad.
Get Squirrely. This film features Will Forte and John Cleese. You'd think with that kind of viral voice talent that this film would be competent, right? Oh, hell no. This is a furry film that really sucks. The story revolves around Frankie, who's just been let out of jail, and along with his porcupine friend, goes out to try and stop an evil corporation who's stealing all the acorns from the local forest. Together, they go out and gather a group together to create the heist to basically go and get all the nuts back from the evil corporation. So they get a bat with exploding poop. Yeah, I know. A hacker snake, a pangolin, and a frog who doesn't want to do the heist, but of course does it anyway. So they sneak in as a group and evade all of the security systems, and they sneak all the acorns out of the building. Of course, the love interest gets captured, and, well, our hero goes and saves her, and they get out, and, probably doesn't even affect the company at all, to be honest with you. They just put it all down to the insurance and probably back up and running within a couple of weeks. So, the level of animation in this film is interesting. Everything looks really badly shaded. Everything looks plasticky, like everybody's made of plasticine or like shiny, polished plastic. It's really weird. Some animals look okay. Oh, don't even mention those squirrels. They look weird, freaky, uncanny valley, horrible. It's very strange, and the level of voice acting goes up and down all over the place. To be fair, I don't think I recommend this film at all. It's horrible. So, this film was made by the same people who brought you the amazing film Space Chimps. Remember that film? The one that sullied poor Patrick Warburton's career?
Right.
With a whole film plot, horrendous CGI graphics. I really don't think you should get Squirrely.
Now, what bad furry movie list would be complete without Leo the Lion? Yes, this film. So, Leo is a vegetarian lion who obviously doesn't fit in with his pride, so he decides to go and find a better life and goes off into the jungle on his own. He meets up with an elephant named Savannah and her 2 children. He finds out that Savannah has lost her husband after he was killed by some poachers. Or at least you want to think that. It turns out later on, and I'm not really doing a spoiler alert here because I don't think you're ever going to watch this, but it turned out that an evil rival elephant who wanted to marry Savannah actually got the poachers to kill her husband. Yeah, I don't know how that works. That's really silly. Anyway, the children, the elephant children of course, think Leo is their dad. Okay. And they follow him into the heart of the jungle. Yeah. The evil elephant, however, has other plans and tries to stop Leo and his friends in the jungle. Now, I'm going to quickly say, actually, that he probably has the best voice out of everyone, but that's not saying too much. I don't want to give this too much credit. Of course, the evil elephant convinces the elephant children that Leo's actually just taking them away to kill them, and they run off with the evil elephant, and the evil elephant goes off and tells Savannah that Leo was planning this all along and that he wants to marry her to protect her. So there's this wedding scene, and then Leo comes in and stops the wedding and tells everyone the truth, that the evil elephant was the one that got captured by poachers. And then there's a chase scene, and Leo gets the elephant, the evil one, captured by poachers again. Yeah, this is absolute rubbish. And then the ending, it gets even more ludicrous, in that they marry, Leo and the elephant Savannah marry, and then it ends with them waking up with an elephant-lion hybrid baby thing. Oh boy, wow. Yeah, I'm just not doing this enough justice. It really is that bad. It's so stupid. I do recommend checking out Saber Spark's excellent video on this movie, where he talks about it in more detail than I can here. There's a link in the description below. It really is worth a laugh. So yeah, beyond just being bad at acting and voice acting and the animation, it's got some terrible music numbers in it. Yeah, some of them are irrelevant, some of them are just plain ripped off from The Lion King, and of course there's the ending song where Leo just sings about being a vegetarian, which I'm pretty sure if you showed it to a vegetarian would probably make them want to become a carnivore again. Yeah, it's that bad. I'm not lying here. And yeah, the animation is poor. The scenes when they're singing and that are even worse because they've obviously tried to be arty and creative, and it's just obviously not worked, because despite being a film from the mid-2000s, the animation looks like it's probably from like the 70s when they first invented the computer. And quite frankly, this movie's animation is bad enough to make you wonder if it was worth even inventing the computer for. It really is that bad. Also, this film is on Netflix. Yes, they actually paid the money to have the license for this. Why? So you could actually go and watch it on there, but I wouldn't recommend it because you don't know what it will do to your search recommendations. And unless you want to be inundated with badly animated movies, this is probably not one to watch on there. Yeah. I mean, as far as sucky films go, this is the suckiest. It's truly dreadful. And quite frankly, it actually makes Cats look better. No, still doesn't. Cats still looks dreadful. Why? What? No, Cats... Ugh. That is going to be a bad movie. Anyway, what movies do you think sucks? Leave them in the comments below. I'd love to see what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, or consider supporting me on Patreon. I'm Shadow Raccoon, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone!